Welcome to Åsgårdstrand, a beautiful port town about an hour's drive away from Oslo. Edvard Munch fell in love with this area at a young age, and he would later buy this summer house where he visited many summers. He also built a studio here for his work. Åsgårdstrand was the inspirational source for many of Munch's artworks. We will look into the sceneries from Åsgårdstrand to examine the motives from Munch's paintings. In the painting Munch's house at Åsgårdstrand, a green scenery surrounds the house and the yellow walls pop out. Both the house and most of its interior is preserved. It's the only surviving house of Munch that can be visited today. Even his toothbrush has been taken care of. You might not know this, but Edvard Munch enjoyed shooting. He even stored guns in his home. In his guest room, we still see the bullet holes from Edvard Munch's target practice. Edvard Munch's shooting even appeared in his art. In the painting called Uninvited Guests from between 1932 to 1935, we see Edvard Munch aiming a gun at Ludvig Karsten from this exact window. They had a big argument which ended in a brawl, and after this incident, Edvard Munch placed Ludvig Karsten in the category enemy, meaning they were no longer friends. Another dramatic incident that involved a gun also took place inside of this house. Edvard Munch was romantically involved with a woman called Tulla Larsen, a daughter of a wine merchant. She wanted to marry, and Munch could never make up his mind. One day, after many fights and a lot of drama, Edvard Munch decided to take Tulla Larsen to Åsgårdstrand to reconcile after she had allegedly tried to commit suicide. They fought again, and Edvard Munch, he drank heavily that day. It's unclear who pulled the trigger, but there was a gunshot, and Edvard Munch damaged his hand severely. That was his painting hand, and that hurt his pride. In the painting, The Death of Marat, we see a man lying on the bed with a bleeding hand. We see a red-haired woman standing in the front, and these two could be interpreted as Edvard Munch and Tulla Larsen. Munch emulates the scene from Jacques-Louis David's The Death of Marat. If this indeed is Edvard Munch, is he portraying himself as the martyr or the victim? His bloody hand sullies the bed, and the perpetrator stands in the front. Of course, people jump to the conclusion that Tulla Larsen pulled the trigger. But did she really? We are now in the forest of Åsgårdstrand, where Munch walked through many times throughout his life. We know that this forest was the setting for a dangerous summer fling that Edvard Munch had when he was a young man in 1885 with a married woman, Millie Taulov. Her free spirit and charming demeanor intrigued Munch, and he developed a crush on her as their friendship grew. This forest became their setting, and Edvard Munch explores the idea of this dangerous erotic play in the shadows of these trees. In the painting called Summer Night, The Voice from 1896, we find ourselves in this same forest, and it's as if I can hear the laughter from the people on the boat. The trees are shielding us from them, and the dancing moonlight on the water provides us some light, but it also creates a halo around her head. Her eyes are dark and enticing. Is she leaning forward for a kiss? She was his first love, and this was their holy ground. The biggest secret of all was that Millie was already married to Munch's third cousin. In the motifs that he repeats, forbidden love and power play between man and woman takes place. The darkness of the forest could represent the unknown, the dangerous, and the secret. Here we see another famous setting from Åsgårdstrand that would inspire Edvard Munch. In the painting called Evening Melancholy, we come closer to the mysterious shoreline. We see a melancholic man with dark clothes looking out at the waves. Behind him, there is the inkling of two people standing together at the breakwater. This is perhaps the root of his melancholy. She has chosen another. This shoreline is something that Munch returned to throughout his life. But why? It can evoke a sense of loneliness and melancholy. But there is also the depths of the water and the source of light. There is a mystery in the moonlight. The way the light dances on the water makes it look like a magical source. Where the elements meet, it resembles a portal to some magical place. Who knows what might be underneath? We know that Edvard Munch enjoyed the idea of a femme fatale. Another iteration of that is the mermaid, which Munch painted emerging from the quiet and mysterious shoreline. In the famous painting called The Girls on the Bridge from 1927, we see a change in style. We see three young women who are leaning over the railing of the breakwater they're standing on, because it's actually not a bridge. The atmosphere is contemplative. In this painting, Munch explores the serenity and harmony with composition and colors. I wonder what the girls are thinking of. Perhaps they looked out here and pondered on life's mysteries. The traditional interpretation is that they're on the brink of change, of puberty. They look like dreamers, lost in their own thoughts. I think what drew Munch here was this fresh air, and also the sounds of the water washing the stones up onto the beach. I also think that it was the big, grand, mysterious forest that hid his secrets, and the mysterious moonlight that reflected a portal into a magical world. At least that's what I get from this visit. What a source of inspiration. It's clear to us how much Åsgårdstrand meant to Munch, and the municipality of Horten knew that importance very much. After Munch's death in 1944, they quickly stepped in to make sure that Munch's house would survive the test of time. I hope that you enjoyed the scenes from Åsgårdstrand. Thank you and goodbye.